Alright, I really liked making weapons for TF2 based on other franchises, so I'm going to continue with the ones for Halo, and then maybe I might do another franchise's weapons in TF2. Who knows? Alright, let's go. You may think the concussion rifle should go to Demo Man because it has 4 shots like a grenade launcher, actually 5 shots, but I'm gonna give it the flare gun slot for Pyro. This will be based off of the Scorch Shot. It will get 5 flares in its clip. They each will do, let's say 2 times knockback, with a base damage of 30 and 0 afterburn. And they get mini crits on burning players, of course. Maybe 30% faster firing speed on top of that, because, I mean, you have 5 in your clip, and they do less damage, so... Alright, this will be a new secondary for the Scout. This DMR will only have 5 bullets in its clip. Each bullet does 15 damage and gets full critical headshots, and does guaranteed mini crits on any opponent under a status effect like Bleed, Girardi, and Afterburn. Not Mad Milk though. We don't want you to heal and do a bunch of damage at the same time. It will shoot 30% slower than the pistols, but it'll reload just as fast, so Alright, let's turn this into more of a utility weapon. Minus 20% damage, but on backstab you get 3 mini crits. Minus 15% accuracy seems nice, with a 100% increased clip size and a 15% faster firing speed. Actually, since the Diamondback gets a 15% damage penalty and it gets guaranteed crits, then let's change this to a 10% damage penalty, because I don't feel right giving it less damage, but giving it also another less damage when I give it mini crits instead of crits. This is a plasma repeater, right? I think that's what it's called. Anyways, we're giving that as a secondary to the heavy. Alright, each shot will do 20 damage. After 15 shots, instead of overheating, it will start firing extremely slowly. You'll get a 50% decrease in firing speed until you take 1.5 seconds to cool it down. While under the effects of Girardi, Bleed, Mad Milk, or Afterburn, it will give heavy a 10% increased movement speed. Oh my god, it's Locust from Red vs. Blue. Anyways, the railgun's going to Scout. You charge the railgun for about 1 second and fire a bolt that goes through all targets and deals 80 damage, though it does do 5% less damage for each enemy it goes through. It gets guaranteed crits on marked for death players, and anybody caught directly in front of you when you use it gets hit by like this massive wave of knockback. Let's say 150% increased point blank knockback. Engineer's gonna have to pilot this thing himself, by the way. This turret will have 6 rockets that each do 70 damage. It will be pilotable by anyone, including enemies, and it swivels pretty slowly. Like, not so slow that it can't keep up with most of the classes. The only one it won't be able to keep up with is a Scout, and that's it. It will take 1.5 seconds to reload all 6 rockets. Guaranteed mini crits to players that are being healed by a medic, and the turret will have 350 health. Sniper's getting the needle rifle, and it's going to be a little weird. Each shot will do 25 damage and will retain its full critical hits on headshot. After 4 shots on one target within 10 seconds, it will do a super combine explosion that deals 60 damage. It will have a 10-round clip before it has to reload, and has a 30% faster firing speed. Actually, let's change that to 5 shots for the explosion. You can only get 2 of them per clip. Demo Man's getting the plasma launcher. After charging for 1 second, all 4 grenades will come out at the same time. These grenades are able to stick to people, and they automatically detonate after 2 seconds. This is a recharge weapon, by the way, so you don't have to worry about ammo reserves. That's it, it'll be like Demo Man's Cow Mangler. There are no random critical hits, and the pills do not roll. But grenades stuck to a person instead of a wall will do 30% increased splash damage. Maybe we should add a minus 20% projectile speed, because I feel like if it's as fast as a sticky and it can stick to people, that's just overpowered. You know what? Yeah, let's put this in his sticky position instead of his grenade launcher position, because this doesn't make sense as a grenade launcher as much as it could a sticky launcher, launching 4 stickies at a time. I must be insane because I'm giving the storm rifle to medic. It's a cooldown weapon with only 20 in its clip. Guaranteed crits when it would mini crit. Each shot does 7 damage. And if you choose not to fire in short controlled bursts, then you will very quickly lose accuracy up to 30%. This will cool down on its own if you're not firing, so you can passively reload technically. You can right click to spend your entire clip to shoot one tracer round that tracks the player that it hits for 8 seconds and shows wherever they are on the map for those 8 seconds. Only you and whoever your medi gun is attached to can see that player for those 8 seconds. The sticky detonator is actually going to spy. It's going to be a utility for taking out sentries. It only gets 1 projectile in its clip instead of 6 bullets. It does 20% less damage to players, but 50% more damage to buildings. It'll keep the same damage as a revolver, but it'll still have the same blast radius as a rocket. It'll take 20% longer to reload, and you can only have 2 of them sticking to anything at any given point in time. You can see them through walls, and they do stick to people. But even with 2 stickies on one person, you're not going to be able to kill them with it. A grenade launcher. I wonder who's getting this one. Of course, it's Demo Man. It's going to have a 40% increased projectile speed, 1 grenade in the clip, and a 20% increased reload speed. If you don't hold the mouse, this will explode on contact with any surface like a rocket. But if you hold mouse 1 after you fire it, it'll bounce around on every surface until it gets to a point where you want to let go of mouse 1 and let it explode with a 20% increased explosive radius. This explosive radius is actually an EMP, and will EMP buildings, take the disguise off a spy, and deal 20% more damage. That's okay though, because 20% sounds like a lot of extra damage, but all light classes will still be alive, aside from all the life-stealing weapons like, was it the Sandman and the 2 knives? This rocket for the soldier will have 30% decreased projectile speed, but the ability to lock on to targets. Targets that are locked onto will be dealt mini crits by the rocket launcher. Sorry, this is called a missile pod, I think. Not a rocket launcher, a missile pod. You just hold mouse 1 for about 1 second, and the rocket you just shot should already be locked on to the target you're looking at. And I guess it does 50% less damage to buildings. I'm not going to make this minigun for heavy and overheat weapon because it has 200 ammo in the Halo games. And heavy has 200 ammo in the TF2 game, minus 10% accuracy. And after dealing 200 damage, right click to get guaranteed mini crits for about as long as the buff banner, except for it's only for you. You're heavy, you're not support. You know what, let's make it 50% less overheal as well. Another weapon for heavy, the Gauss cannon turret. Well, it's not a turret because he's holding it. Minus 15% fire rate. Oh yeah, each Gauss round pierces all targets that it can go through in a straight line. It actually deals 15% more damage each time it goes through someone. So basically the first 2 people it goes through aren't dead, but the third one better start running. Each kill gives them a stackable damage resistance up to 4. I don't know what you would call it, but it goes up to 4. Each stack of those 4 adds 5% damage resistance, and it resets when he dies. And other heavies with the gun can take those stacks too. Kinda like the Islander. Actually, let's just make them heads, yeah. Because that way Bizarre Bargains and Islander Demo Knights can all intertrade their heads with the heavy weapon, and yeah. A new primary for Scout that actually takes his primary and secondary slots. 50 rounds per clip. Fires about as fast as the pistol. Actually, a little faster than the pistol. It's really accurate at close range and mid-range, not at far range. Oh, you're gonna love this. Each bullet does 10 damage, and instead of losing accuracy, you get recoil. You gotta keep pulling your mouse down to your target. On kill, you get 20 health back. Oh, there's gotta be a trade-off for something this good. You take double fire damage, and picking up health kits or getting healed does not get rid of the afterburn. There you go. It turns one of your one of the things you hard counter into a hard counter for you. So you better have good aim. Anyways, that's all I have for now. I might make something else eventually for like the Promethean weapons or the Halo Infinite weapons. I don't know. If I'm feeling good, I might. Anyway, see y'all later.